Welcome to This Explainer. If you're an out-of-state visitor planning a Texas fishing trip, figuring out the right license can honestly feel a bit like navigating a maze. But don't worry, we're going to demystify the complex Texas Parks and Wildlife Department regulations right now. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to choose the perfect license package for your trip, whether that's freshwater, saltwater, or all water. Okay, let's dive into our roadmap. We'll quickly check if you even need a license, break down the freshwater, saltwater, and all-water packages, cover some awesome hacks for short trips and border lakes, and finish up with how to avoid some really costly mistakes. Section 1. Do you actually need a license? Let's establish our baseline. If you're packing your tackle box for a Texas vacation, you might be wondering if you can just walk right up to the water and cast a line without any paperwork. It's a super common assumption, right? That a casual afternoon by the water doesn't need all this bureaucratic hassle. But in Texas, the rules are pretty clear-cut, and game wardens definitely do not play around. Here's the deal. Almost anywhere you fish in Texas is officially considered public waters. Whether we're talking about a massive reservoir, a winding little creek, or the coastal surf, if aquatic life can be legally taken there, you absolutely need a valid license package. You really can't just throw a line in because it looks like a quiet spot, unless, of course, you qualify for an official exemption. Luckily, there are a few notable exceptions. Kids under 17, they can fish for free without a license, whether they're residents or just visiting. Also, anyone can fish license-free on the first Saturday in June during Texas Free Fishing Day. And there are some very specific exemptions for fishing from the bank inside state parks. Though keep in mind, park entry fees and bag limits absolutely still apply there. All right, Section 2, the freshwater fishing package. Let's see what you need if you're heading inland. So there is a fundamental divide in the Texas license system. The freshwater package is strictly for inland spots. Think bass, catfish, and crappie fishing in lakes and rivers. On the flip side, the saltwater package is required the absolute second you hit the coast, the bays, the surf, or the Gulf. You basically just have to match your license to the water type you're standing in or floating on. For non-residents, the freshwater package costs $58. That covers the fishing license itself, plus the mandatory freshwater endorsement. It's a fantastic choice if you are 100% certain your trip is limited solely to inland public waters. But remember, the moment your travel itinerary shifts toward the coast, this specific license is completely void. Moving to Section 3, the saltwater fishing package. Let's head down to the coast. Coming in at $63 for out-of-state visitors, this package provides the necessary saltwater endorsement. You're going to need this if you're fishing the coastal bays, jetties, saltwater piers, or taking a trip out into the Gulf. It's really only a few dollars more than the freshwater package, but it is legally required for any coastal aquatic harvesting. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting. Texas features some highly unique tagging mechanics. Your saltwater package might include special tags for red drum and spotted sea trout. For instance, catching an oversized red drum, which is one longer than 28 inches, actually requires you to use a specific tag included with your saltwater endorsement. And you only get one of these per license year. It's a great conservation tool, but it just means you need to read the specific tagging instructions carefully before you even bait your hook. Okay, Section 4, the all-water solution. If you're feeling a little stressed about crossing boundaries between fresh and saltwater, check this out. When we put the out-of-state prices side by side, a really strategic progression emerges. Freshwater is $58, saltwater is $63, and the all-water package is $68. Seeing it laid out like this really helps contextualize the value for a visiting angler. So for literally just $5 more than the saltwater package, the $68 all-water package covers both inland and coastal waters. Honestly, this is the ultimate peace of mind purchase. If you're doing a big Texas road trip and you might fish a lake near Dallas one day and the Gulf Coast a few days later, spending that extra $5 completely removes the anxiety of accidentally carrying the wrong endorsement. Section 5, short trips and border lakes. Let's talk about some amazing ways to save money. If you are just passing through, or maybe you've only booked a single guided day trip, the one-day all-water license is a brilliant $16 alternative. It covers absolutely any water type, fresh or salt, for exactly the day you need it. And hey, if you decide to fish a second day, you can just buy consecutive days right at the time of purchase. It's incredibly flexible for short-term visitors. Now, what if your vacation is exclusively at Lake Texoma? Well, you can actually bypass the main packages entirely. Because this lake literally straddles the border, Texas and Oklahoma offer a really unique $12 cross-border license. It lets you fish both sides of the lake without needing separate licenses for each state. But remember, and this is critical, it is totally void anywhere else in Texas. Strictly Lake Texoma. Finally, Section 6. Avoid these costly mistakes before you cast your line. You know, the absolute biggest trap out-of-state visitors fall into is tempting fate. It is so easy to look at the prices and try to save a few bucks by grabbing that $58 freshwater license. But if your plans suddenly change and you end up fishing in a saltwater bay without the proper endorsement, you are fishing illegally. Seriously, if there's even a slight chance you'll hit the coast, just get the all-water package. It is not worth the risk. You're also going to need to choose between digital or paper licenses at checkout. Texas now offers fully digital options viewable on their Outdoor Annual or Texas Hunt and Fish apps. While that's incredibly convenient, if you do go digital, make sure you actually have the app downloaded and plenty of battery life. Think about it. If you harvest a tagged fish in a remote area with zero cell signal, a dead phone, or worse, a phone dropped in the lake, means you have absolutely no proof of your license or your digital tags. Sometimes old school paper is just foolproof. So, now that you have this simple guide to conquering the TPWD system, you are completely equipped to make the right choice. Take a quick moment to double check your package, review the local regulations, and get out there on the water. Are you ready for your Texas fishing adventure? Or will you let a simple paperwork